We're meeting to order. It's August 20th, 2025. Please rise. Join with me in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Dan. We have a roll call when you're ready.
Weber's absent. Marvel
Here.
Ferris here. Jamie, you're here. Right here.
Thank you. And we have the agenda in front of us. Are there any amendments to that?
I don't have anybody.
We should just go ahead and underline under guest for Popp that that is a document that was supplied. Other than that, I move that we accept the agenda as presented.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed. Conflict of interest. Does anyone have anything to declare at this point? Let the record show there's not. The first set of minutes are from the regular meeting on July 16th. I'll go ahead and move that we accept the minutes as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All right. All those in favor say aye for accepting the minutes, and all those opposed. Second set of minutes, special meeting on the 28th. I'll go ahead and say we accept the minutes as presented. Do I have a second?
A second, they're perfect.
All right, and do we have any discussion? All those in favor of accepting the minutes as presented, say aye. Aye. All those opposed. Thank you. Yes.
I was not here, so I think so.
Oh, okay. Correspondence, there is none. And first guest up is Brooke.
If you could come over here, I would appreciate it.
For those of you, I'm Brooke Popp, Frankfurt Memorial Airport. For those of you that missed the Skydiving event, they're coming back every Thursday now through the rest of the season. They enjoyed our airport so much. We had such a positive turnout that every Thursday.
And didn't you say they couldn't all jump?
Right, so Monday, we did have some poor weather in the morning. Over 20 people were scheduled, 11 were able to jump that day. Yeah, so fantastic. So another project we're working on is our hangar electric meter consolidation, still ongoing. Consumers just gave their vote of approval. Our contractor's going to start soon. FAA obstruction review. So an assessment was done by MDOT in June of 2023, and FAA obstructions in trees were identified. So to maintain a safe environment on the ground and in the sky around the airport, we're going to have tree removal efforts begin October of 2025, so this fall. That includes trees at the Pines Assisted Living, a 5-acre parcel that the airport owns, and then 3 adjacent properties. Another upcoming event is we're going to meet with MDOT. It's an annual meeting. We're going to discuss our grants, the ones necessary for payment of the bond. We're going to look at, so once the tree removals are finished, there's going to be different markings that are needed, and we're going to try to coordinate the markings and the crack sealing at the same time. And we need to do taxiway asphalt improvements. And then the FAA may consider us for hangars. There is a blurb at the bottom there about Michigan tourism from last year. From what I understand, this year we're down about 30 to 40% in the area. So I put in what we've been selling and our operations and compared them to last year. And for operations, we're down to. Anyone have any questions?
NPR just did a thing when I was driving back from Traverse today about how tourism is down everywhere. It was interesting.
Yeah.
Sure didn't seem down on Main Street, frankly. Right.
Okay, no questions? Thank you, Brooke. Next is the county commissioners report. Christie.
Evening. I am going to sound like a broken record because the gang is all here from Frankfurt. The county approved the townships opting out of their designated assessor. You all did that.
Yep.
Almost all of them have, and so apparently the last, I don't know, bow tie is the county saying that as well. The county also approved participation in the opioid class action settlement. So last year, some of that money went to the Bay Area Youth Initiative for some prevention programs and some training. We also gave some money to a parole officer to help with bus passes to get his parolees to work appointments, whatever. And what he said is basically everyone from him is somehow touched or impacted by opioids. Those two came back to us just this last Tuesday, so it's not in my report, and they reported on where they are with that funding, so that was really nice to see. We have amended the employee roster at the county level, so there's been some turnover at in the administrative office. So the human resource manager, the job description is exactly the same, but they're renaming the title to deputy county administrator. And some of that is that some folks who have been in that position and have left have said, you know, what they were thinking is that it was going to be very HR heavy, and it is not. And so we're hoping that some of that will decrease some of that turnover, even though it is still in the job description. That title, we think was misleading. Yes. So yeah, we've got that going on. Sorry, I have a long report and I'm trying to, I was trying to pick.
Yeah.
So the health department, so that's one of the committees I go to. I'm on the board of the health at the Beulah District Health Department. So one thing is that lead testing requirements have changed, and so some kids are being tested more often in higher risk areas. Our child passenger safety guidelines have changed, so if you have a young person, you might want to look into that. The WIC guidelines have also changed to allow for a slightly higher income threshold. And then we saw in communicable diseases, we saw a higher incidence of mycoplasma pneumoniae and parvovirus. And something again near to my heart. I've been a microbiologist for many, many years, but statewide vaccination rates are very low. And so if you are not up to date on your preventable vaccinations, please check into that. Also, as far as personal health goes, our personal health officer is asking to preserve our targeted school health funding in the School Aid Act. And so we have quite a few resources that the health department does in our local schools that will affect hundreds of our Benzing and Lebanon County children. So we're keeping an eye on that. And then in Lake Township, I wanted to kind of highlight that the Beulah sewer project was on their agenda as well. The board had some questions. They did throw out a number of $10,000. But they made no action at that time. They wanted to know how everybody else was going to do it.
They didn't want to go first.
They did not want to go first.
Okay, got it.
And then as far as materials management, so this is recycling and whatnot. Fishback, as I think I reported on last time, is our third-party consultant to help us with this. They are working on surveys. We reviewed those surveys. They looked pretty good. And so yes, we had a large discussion at Frankfurt last night. No worries. You're doing your jobs. That's important. About recycling, so there's a survey coming out, so if you see the survey, you can go to the Benzie County website when it is there, it is not there yet. And feel free to tell us all the things and all your recycling woes and what you want. So really appreciate that. And then we also talked about how both Benzie, Leland, and Traverse City, because again, this was a regional committee, have submitted our first quarter reports. We in Benzie County also submitted a request for funds for our recycling coordinator salary. But we haven't heard back. We did have an Eagle representative there, and she said that they are really behind due to staff vacation. So we are hoping to get those funds soon. But anyway, that's kind of, any questions for me?
I thought it was interesting last night, and I thought you guys did a great job on the subject. I had no idea that the restaurants struggle with recycling. And they were talking about how it just piles up in the street because they can't use the recycling. The trailer's gone from the school,
Correct.
and Republic only comes once a week. And when you think about all
Said
the,
every 2 weeks.
was it every 2 weeks, and all the cardboard from the cases of food is just piling up. So Joanne and others,
Some kind of.
are, you guys were gonna make some calls and see what could happen to help alleviate that a little bit. I never even thought about it.
And so Beulah did kind of band together, and they have come up with a solution, it sounds like. I don't know a whole lot about it, but Annie Brownie commented on it last night.
Yes, she did.
So,
Okay.
yeah, there is a model in place. So,
And about hazardous waste this week.
oh, yes, and we've got hazardous waste this weekend, so go to the website, benzie.gov, and you can sign up under recycling materials management for slots to get in for hazardous waste, and it talks in there what you need, or what they will accept and what they won't accept, so. And I think you've got that on your website too, so thank you. I did see that, I did. So, any other questions, comments, or concerns?
Thank you very much. Next we have fire and rescue, and we just have the report. We've lost the personnel. And so if anybody, this is a report that we should have looked at already. Does anyone have a question that we should say
Well,
for
I
them?
can cover a couple of things, and Joanne can help me.
Okay,
I went to the airport advisory board because I'm our representative. And if you could have, fire advisors, yes. If you could have seen Chief Cedarholm talking about his new ladder truck, you'd have thought it was Christmas morning. So they have been getting along with a very old truck that hardly runs, and they're throwing more money at it. So they have found a used truck that, according to Mike, comes with all the bells and whistles. And it's $185,000. The city is giving the down payment of 75. Mike right now is out looking for funding for the 110. And when he's got numbers, he will come to the townships and the city and say, here's what it's going to cost.
okay, that's a ladder truck, you said?
Yeah, and
Okay.
it's big. The ladder truck right now doesn't even reach the buildings we have in the area.
We'll make it up the hill.
Yeah, and it won't
Can't
make.
climb the hill, but I-
So he thinks the old truck's worth about $35,000. So the minute he gets numbers, runs that by their finance committee, then we'll get the numbers and I'll bring it to the board.
He just went and talked to one of the banks today, and they're advising him to wait until the end of the month to get a quote from them, because they feel like the interest rate might go down a little. So, and this older new truck is equipped, so we don't have to put a dime in. I think he said when he got back here, there's like $50,000.
Yeah, $53,000 worth of
Worth
equipment
of
on.
equipment already equipped on there that we would have otherwise had to go out and he took the top mechanic at the road commission down with them and they crawled all over it, under it, took it for a ride. It's in excellent condition.
Nice to hear.
Then the second thing the fire advisory board is working on, Chief Cedarholm brought a document that is a memorandum of understanding, for lack of it's an agreement.
It's,
And it will more detail the city's role, what the townships get from the fire, and we're gonna take a stab at editing that. And then again, it'll come to you guys to review, Judy. And you're so good at it. But it was a great meeting, and I think we made headway on this agreement, and I really enjoyed the advisory board.
Thank you for attending.
You're.
All right. Any other questions about fire and rescue? All right, moving right along, we've got public comment at this point. Anyone in the audience wish to speak? Right, let the record show nothing. Financials next.
Financials, the full reports are out on the website and my summary was given to the board. The general fund sitting on about $875,000. Cemetery fund total is about $387. A lot of that can't be spent. But there is available funds. Fire fund has $218,441 and the road fund has $767,000. We are taking a lot of taxes in and then they go out. So it's like a revolving door, but I feel more comfortable with it this time than I did a year ago.
Well, and
Knock on wood.
yeah, have we done a recent fire bill? Have we paid a
No,
recent balance?
we've
So
not seen-
those two figures will be going drastically
Yeah,
down.
the road fund is drastically going to drop.
Yeah.
The fire fund's gonna drop a little bit.
And we'll talk about that more when we get to roads.
Okay.
All right, any questions for Jill? Warrant report then?
Because I waited until Monday morning to finalize this report, there are no changes.
Are you kidding?
No.
It's a first.
It's a first.
So for the general fund, we have a total of $32,086.65 in expenses. Of course, the largest is our legal services bill. And then, next in line would be our August cleanup day. Cemetery fund, the expenses totals $6,183.85. And there are no expenses for fire fund or road fund at this time. I move to accept the warrant report as presented.
We have a second?
I'll second one of us.
Any discussion? Any questions for Judy? Go ahead and take roll call when you've got a minute.
Marble,
Yes.
Ferris,
Yes.
Wright,
Yeah.
Van Meter, yes.
All right, thank you. Next would be the airport. And you're gonna report on that?
Yeah,
Judy?
just.
Oh, sorry.
I had a conversation with our representatives, David Spraggins and Sue Weber, and we decided we really needed to maybe be the ones to get things started on the airport zoning overlay. And development of that zoning overlay. And Dave provided me with a letter that was written years ago and by Robert Foster.
2001.
Yeah, to Bob Barton and the zoning administrator at the time, Schwartz, I think.
indicating at that time that the airport layout plan should be included in the zoning ordinance and the master plan, and it was not done at that time. So, we're kind of playing catch up. But I'm asking the board's permission to contact our attorney to find out what documents, they would require for the law firm to create our airport zoning overlay, including an estimated cost. At our last Zoom meeting with Attorney Homier, he said that,
Gave us an estimate. Ballpark, yeah.
yeah, he said that their law firm has done overlays in the past and they'd be willing to do ours. So I just want to start the process of getting information and cost estimates. And
And
I
did you
just,
think it'd be a cost savings if they did it? Or
yes,
something
he
outside?
estimated about $20,000.
Hey, that's way less than you were hearing.
Yeah. So I'd like to maybe get a more.
I think we can just reach consensus on this, and I think that the sooner you can bring an actual resolution to vote on, maybe by September, that would be great.
Okay,
So,
Here.
you in agreement?
Yeah.
All right,
okay.
anything else?
Can I add to that?
Of course.
Do you have something to hand out? Do you have the
Right.
minutes or anything?
Can you ask Mike about the process? Because I've been trying to sort it out. So we talked about, do we have to have, the master plan amended first or whatever? And I'm thinking that we don't have to. That if when we review the master plan, we'll put it in. But I'm thinking that we'll probably have to have 2 public hearings. But all the statutes on the airports and zoning, like old, new, old, I mean, he commented on that it's hard to follow some of them. So if you can ask him, to give us the process, do we have to go through, a new master plan? Or can we just start the process?
It would need to be included in the zoning ordinance as well.
Right. Yeah, I think the planning commission would start. We would have to have a public hearing. And then we would refer it to you all. You would have to have a public hearing. And then you would vote on it. So
I will do that.
see what he thinks.
Okay.
Thanks.
And we don't have any minutes, updated minutes from the
No.
airport where,
We haven't met it yet. From the last meeting.
okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, we don't get them till before our meeting, which is always right after this, so. But we did talk, we told everybody what we talked about. I came and watched the skydiving.
You didn't skydive?
No, I've been told not to,
Oh, okay.
but
It's super fun.
it was really interesting. And so it's interesting that they're gonna come back and I don't know who's left in town that wants to do it. Maybe
So
the
any,
13 that didn't show up.
any other thing that's happening that we should know about?
Yeah.
Thank you. Any questions?
Nope.
Next would be buildings and grounds.
Hey.
Brian, you wanna take those two?
Howdy, first thing we're gonna talk about, we've got actually about 3 resolutions we're gonna discuss. The first one is basement improvement. We'll start off by talking about the use of this building during elections. The township hall is used for election precinct. We do 9 days of early voting and then we do election day. So we've got 10 days and we have to be staffed in the building. We have 5 people here at all times that are running the elections. When the old days, when we just had election day, we would have some food set up in the zoning office over here. And we didn't have a tabulator or anything in here. We could use that as a break room, but with the 9 days of early voting, we have a tabulator in here that we use for mail-in ballots. So everybody goes downstairs to take their breaks and have their meals. Well, if you go downstairs and you look around, it's pretty sparse. There's no tiles on the ceiling. There's sticky tar on the floor because there was asphalt pile down there at one time that was removed. And what we have on the floor now is just this layer of sticky tar, and everything you set down there is covered with tar. So what we want to do to start this project is, first we're going to paint the walls. we want to put some vinyl click lock flooring down there, some 5 millimeter PVC cord flooring. It's gonna take some work to move everything around to get it down there. The pricing for the whole project, I figure, is about $3,000 for the installation, about $3,000 for the material. So I have a resolution to be voted on to have that flooring installed in the basement so that when we come up here, we're not tracking sticky tar all over our carpet.
This is all in keeping with a decision that, not only our administration, but previous members of the administration said that we're gonna try to update this building and get it in tip-top shape,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's a long process, but we're working on it.
You've made huge strides from when this started.
Yeah.
I sorted all the documents in the basement and it was
Remember, that's your first job.
I mean, there was standing water and mice, it was bad and
I
it's-
cleaned out in the bunker too.
Yeah, I mean, it
Before
is
that.
so much better, but the flooring and they're eating down there, no.
Yeah, and we had the tile removed, there was rodents running around and all this ceiling,
Oh.
so we had all that.
We don't need any more detail.
So you get the end. You got it.
All right, so you're therefore is that the board agrees to vinyl click lock flooring and labor to install at a cost not to exceed $7,000. Do we have a second?
I was moving it. You know?
I guess I am, I have to.
Second.
And Greg, any discussion? Anything cheaper than 7,000?
I don't wanna put laminate down there because it doesn't hold up well with moisture. If we have any moisture accumulation down there, it's all vinyl, it's PVC cord, it's impervious to water.
And dogs.
Dogs?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying it doesn't scratch, it
Oh.
doesn't, it's like bulletproof.
Bulletproof, okay. Any other discussion? Roll call when you're ready.
Right?
Yes.
Ferris,
Yes.
Marble,
Way, yes.
Van Meter, yes.
That's great. And now we have a second.
Okay, the second one is for parking lot lighting. When I started here, there was very little lighting in the parking lot. In the winter, we have board meetings, it's always dark out there. We have ice accumulation in the parking lot, it's a dangerous situation for our guests or anybody that's attending any of the meetings. And that includes the elections, because it starts when we leave for election night. But we've got a couple of lights mounted up on the gable out there, and they do a pretty decent job close to the building. But when we did the Cherry Capital Communications fiber cut out here, and we put together the lease agreement for Cherry Capital, included in that was they would pay for any power to power our light poles if we ever got them installed in the parking lot. So if we get light poles out there, Cherry Capital pays for the electricity as part of the lease agreement. And then another thing that I did, our insurance company is called Parkland. It's the municipal insurance company for all the townships statewide. They have a grant program for risk reduction. So I applied for the risk reduction grant on the 1st of August, got all the paperwork in, and the grant administrator told me that everything looks good, but I need a signed resolution from the township board saying that, they approve of the installation of the light poles. So what it is, it's a $5,000 grant from the Parkland, and the whole bill is like $10,200. Is that what it says in the resolution?
I don't think it said that much.
It's not a total, but it's got,
If I add
6,710
yep,
on the back.
Yeah, okay.
the 5,000 for the grant.
yep,
It's $5,000 grant, and then it's what, 5,700 or something like
to
that.
us.
Yeah,
Okay, so what we're voting on right now is the 6,000 that we're
exactly.
adding.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then I'll send that signed resolution to the Parkland and they'll process our application.
okay. And would anybody like to move that?
I will.
Okay, and then a second,
I'll second it.
and now discussion.
Will it be on a timer?
Yeah,
Okay,
there's a photo sensor, photo cell, and there's also a timer.
okay, good.
It's in the quote, I
So it
think.
won't be on all night long.
No,
Okay,
in fact, I attached a quote to the resolution that includes that photo cell and the timer.
should have read that.
Yeah, that's you and I've been around on that. We went as little light as possible,
These are really efficient lights, they shine down, these guys are really aware of the dark sky laws, so.
Any other questions? Vote when you're ready.
Ferris,
Yes.
Marvel,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Van Meter, yes.
Any comment on cleanup review?
Cleanup day, I think the cleanup day that we had on August 2nd was probably the busiest cleanup day we've had since I've been doing it over the last 4 years. It was pretty busy,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, I'll stay long.
It went really well because we had 6 volunteers, 7 volunteers. So each one of the trucks had 3 to 4 people working at it at any given time, plus the drivers. So we were able to unload the vehicles really fast. We moved the line.
And your good line rubbers.
Yeah, we had a little bit better planning on the line at the Graceland parking lot. So went really well. I think we got the invoice, didn't we, Judy?
Yes, it's on the warrant.
One of the things we did in spring when we did the cleanup day, the guys that do the scrapping, Mike Mackin from the A&W, he brought in a couple of trailers and we put all the scrap on the trailers. So he had to make 4 trips to Traverse City to get that scrap up there. So this time I talked to Beacon Recycling in Traverse City and I got them to bring the price down on transportation for a container. So we brought in the container, it was like $495 for the container. And then we filled it to the top. They transported it back to Beacon Recycling and we saved all that work for our recycling guys because they're basically volunteers working for very little pay. So overall, the cleanup day went very well.
Didn't you say you'd be lucky to get $500?
He got $310 from the steel, and he worked pretty much all day on it. So it's not a lot of money.
Okay,
Any other questions for Brian?
we got trees.
What? Oh, that's.
Oh, that's
excellent.
you?
You can keep standing up there though, but thank you for all the buildings and ground stuff. I don't know what we would do as a board if we didn't have you helping us, so thank you. Moving right on to cemeteries, now you can talk about the next one.
Okay, now trees.
Okay, the North Cemetery out, M22, 2 miles out, M22. I think it was formed in the late 1870s. They planted a bunch of maple trees out there. These maple trees mature, they're huge, and a lot of them are dying. So we're dropping branches all over the place. It's a hazard. Some of those trees come down, they come down on monuments. And it generally causes a problem. So we had Justin Olds from Olds Tree Service meet us out there one day. And he and I walked the cemetery. He flagged everything that he thought was a hazard in the cemetery. So we're looking at a bunch of old maple trees that have, sections that are dead. Still got dead ash trees out there. We've got a lot of oak that need to be trimmed, but those won't be trimmed until the weather cools off because of oak will. So what he quoted was for 3 days of his crew and equipment out there, we could get the cemetery in pretty decent shape for this year. And then we'll just make it a kind of an iterative project where every year we do a little bit more and more. So I think the resolution is for 3 days of Justin's team being out there working in the cemetery. 5 days?
Well, the estimate that he gave us was for more than we're hiring him for.
Right.
We're not doing
Not doing
5
5
days. Yeah.
We're gonna do 3 days this year. 10,000, 11,000.
Not to exceed.
Yeah.
So who moves that? I guess I'll have to, except I disagree with some of it, so,
Oh, you do? Okay, I will now therefore be it resolved that Crystal Township Board agrees to support an annual tree maintenance and removal plan with 2025 spending not to exceed 11,000.
and I'm just gonna question funding in a little bit,
Okay.
where it's coming from. So do we have a second?
Also,
Thank you. Discussion? You'll notice that the second to last paragraph, funding to be used will come from the interest earned on the perpetual fund and the Grand Traverse Regional Community Foundation. We had problems with that before, that they say that they don't want their money used for tree maintenance.
Okay.
So that's my only objection to that.
What do they want it used for?
Beautification,
Well, that's beautification.
you'd have to talk to them.
Okay, and I don't have a problem calling them to make sure we're within the rules of it, but this is.
I have asked them to meet, repeatedly asked them. The elders that started this are pretty much dead or gone, and they, the younger guys just haven't met. And I said, could you please reword and make very specific what you want this money for?
But perpetual, we don't have a problem with the interest.
No,
Okay,
no.
so
And-
I will call them.
And how about if we just, at this point, say that it's not coming from them? Because this has come up with, you know, in previous administrations, and that we just say it comes from the cemetery fund.
Until I find out differently.
We're gonna have this done fairly soon.
He was a month out when we talked to him, that was probably 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, so I don't think she'll have time to get this all done. So I would not vote for this unless we amend the,
Language?
amend the original language for where the funding is coming from.
It's amended.
Strike that,
So you want to withdraw your motion?
No, we can say general fund, and then if we get it fixed, we'll.
You agree to amend your
Absolutely.
motion? Okay, and
Absolutely,
then
'cause I wanna get it
you
done.
agree that you're second to the amendment, okay. Based on that, I don't have any further commentary. Does anyone else? All right. Go ahead.
Marvel,
Yes.
Ferris,
Yes,
Van Meter, yes, right?
thank you so much. Now we've got, thank you again, Frank. Now we've got, enforcement, and we've got the enforcer here.
Oh,
Force.
First of all, for the blight side, because I noticed that's on there, but I'm gonna speak for Sue and myself on the blight committee. We've been working, meeting every Thursday. Have some really good meetings, and there's a lot going on. Probably on the blight side of it with the properties that were selected with the most notorious complaints on. There's a lot of work going on behind the scenes, and there's a lot of work going on above the scenes at those locations. So we've been in contact with at least 4 of the landowners and are making progress towards correcting their properties, being that we're there to help them. And that's on the blight side of it. So another thing that I put in there is that I was getting some notifications that, hey, on the side of the road, there was a couch or something that I had to go look at. So I talked to Amy about it. I talked to Sue. It was within the budget, like $300, where I had these stickers created. Very simple little stickers that you can write in, and got a little coding system that we're working on, but I'm logging it for a few reasons. Number one, you know, when something's spotted on the side of the road for a few days, that's been there, it's got 3 days to sit on the side of the road right away is what it has. So a sticker will be placed on it with my business card on there, with it's the code enforcement officer for Crystal Lake Township. Theoretically, after 3 days, if it's still sitting there, the yellow one's gonna go on there, give them the second notice, kind of, so you can see both of them. But after 3 more days, if the pink one goes on there, that's the final warning, and at that point in time, we're within discussions on how we're gonna address that, because the item's probably gotta be picked up and disposed of. And that's what we gotta work on getting rid of, so. Got this in, I was like, all right, I had a complaint from some people that there was something on the side of the road, my son went by and he's with me and I was writing on it, and I put the first one on, I said, oh, nobody's gonna see that. We rode by the next day, it was cleaned up, everything was perfect, I was like, yes. Got a call on the second one, I went to look at it down Airport Road, and my God, the TV was in the ditch. If I put a sticker on it, no one would have saw it for 3 months, so there I am taking it out of the ditch, and luckily Brian came and helped me, we threw it in the back of my truck, and we're gonna take it to the disposal on Saturday, I got time. And we're gonna get rid of it, but that's just to tell you this process, and I think it's a good process because number one, hopefully it draws the attention of the person who's in violation of the ordinance and has the item by the road. But number two, I think it sends a message to other people who ride by that item and are annoyed by it that, hey, something's different here. There's a green thing on it. Okay, someone else is annoyed by it. Actions are being taken, because I think that's the most important thing. And that's kind of why I decided to accept this job, is that actions need to be taken, and at the end, there's a big action that needs to be taken. And if we can all, you know, come to agreement on what that is, I think it's gonna be really easy.
I think it's a great program, and people see that we are doing something, that you
Yeah.
are out there.
But we do need to work on after the pink.
Which is the disposal of the piece.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Right,
Are we charging them, fining them? And that's
that's what
We
we
need
gotta
to
do.
get
I
to
think
work
there's
on
been some talks, you know, Brian and myself have talked in the past that, you know, as a township, we're gonna maybe have to invest in back corner there, putting a cement slab with a dumpster of our own.
a fence around, locked up, and if, you know, an item like the TV in the back of my truck that I'm hoping to get rid of on Saturday, we would throw in there and then have a way to build that item back to the property owning, but in care of the TV. I mean, we don't know whose it is. There's no way to prove whose it was, so it's just garbage to the township that until we pull it out, it sit there forever.
Yeah, and we're actually talking about all sorts of garbage problems.
Yes,
Just regular garbage with people, their totes and so forth, staying out, putting them out early. That there's a real problem. Legitimately, there are people who are here just for the weekend and they have no place to dispose of the garbage. Good citizens tend to take it with them home wherever they go, but that's not always possible and it's pretty icky. So I think it's a county-wide problem, actually. But anyway, just to mention to the audience,
that's on there
we're
too.
working on all that.
Other things,
Yeah.
but
We have bears galore out in my area. I think they're exploding in their population everywhere. And I'm just so certain that there's gonna be an accident between a bear and all the garbage that sits on the highway. It's like they tear it apart and anyway,
But good job.
so, yeah,
Okay,
thank you very much.
just do what I'm supposed to do, I think, so.
You are.
You are.
Okay.
And I did wanna bring up we're gonna examine the hourly versus the salary. So we'll
Yeah.
keep working on that.
That's the hardest part of the job.
It's keeping track of your
Yeah,
hours.
absolutely. Yeah, well, yeah, this is the hardest thing. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. I gotta find out if Sue's gonna be around or not, so as of now, I don't believe so.
Okay,
Awesome, thank you.
thank you, thank you, thank you. Very, very glad for Matt. Environment, there are two resolutions here and we don't, I'm gonna actually,
You're not handing this one over to me.
which one? The stormwater one?
Yeah,
Oh, all right. Did you work on the,
the other one.
on any of the wording in here?
No, I wondered if that was actually supposed to be 40 cents or
No, it's supposed to be 2 zeros. Okay,
And then-
so
another word needs to be crossed out, but.
everybody that's here at the table. In this little packet, you can go to the very last page and you can see that in November of 2020. The board at that time agreed to give a letter of support to Eagle. We wanted to support that the village of Beulah was interested in remediating some of the stormwater runoff that goes into the lake. Very polluting, it's full of very rich nutrients that we don't want in the lake and E. coli, et cetera. So we have a history of trying to support this all the way back from 2020. And then if you go to the front page and the back of the front page, you'll see very recent July emails from John Ransom, who is just an amazing guy, saying that now it's not just a letter of support. It's not verbal, spiritual, theoretical support. It's, can you give us money? And then you'll see on the back, there's actually what they came up with at the Conservation District, recommending who gets what. And you can see that Crystal Lake Township is being asked for $10,000. So that's what this resolution is. And apparently in the second paragraph, it's not 40 cents. It's, I don't think it's 186, but that doesn't matter. Where's the other thing that I should cross out?
Cross out the word two, right?
And on the second to last paragraph, Crystal Lake Township to consider, just cross out two. That's our proofreader here. So we are wanting very much to remind people that in our master plan, the very first cornerstone says we're here to protect our water. Water is number one. It's the biggest asset we have. And so as following that, the therefore of this resolution says we agree to immediately contribute the $10,000 to the Village of Beulah's Crystal Lake Beulah Beach Remediation and Stormwater Reduction Grant Project 2001-0005 to improve Crystal Lake water quality. I so move.
I'll second.
And any discussion?
I just have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Which fund is that money coming from?
General fund?
I just think, like Blake didn't want to go first. Somebody's got to go first. And this overall project's $12 million and we're being asked for 10. Now, just that spillage into the lake, the project's 186, but it's way bigger than that. And I think we should be part of it. Did you guys see or hear about Torch Lake?
Yeah. The Wilkinson Creek?
Yeah,
Oh,
they have E. coli in Torch Lake, and they're trying to do, I just think it's important.
and if you didn't hear this, Wilkinson Creek is one of the tributaries to Torch Lake, and that all the townships, at least 2 of them, to have no rules about septic.
Nope.
No, none. And so all the E. coli they have traced back to that creek, and thank goodness, I think,
So anyway, not
Anyway,
related to
yeah.
what we're doing, but it's.
but this shows that cooperation that even though we are not the village of Beulah, we're all very concerned with the lake.
Good use of the money.
So, any other questions? All right, vote when you can.
Marble,
Yes.
Ferris,
Yes.
Wright,
Yeah.
Van Meter, yes.
Thank you so much. The next one is GIS, which stands for Geographical Information Systems. It's kind of a weird thing to try to explain what these things are, but it is data collected that is put to use in determining all sorts of problems. It's geographic data. Oh, and here's Mary, so she would, should we pause for a second? Mary, we just passed the 10,000 contribution that could you speak to what Lake is doing?
Sorry.
Sorry to put you on the spot right
You
away.
started at 7, I'm sorry. That's why I'm here. Well, I'm glad to hear you passed it. We were waiting for more information. I'm not totally optimistic it's gonna happen, but it will help that you passed it. I'm sure you already know this, when we give a donation, we need a contract, like.
You were telling me that on the phone,
Contractor
but
services.
we haven't found that to be true. So
Our auditors always make us do that, and it's.
we have the same auditor.
Like if you donate to the baseball team, they said, this is their example, if you donate to a softball team for kids, then they have to clean up the pop bottles or something at the ball field in exchange. So I was hoping that somebody else was going to grab the contract, but it doesn't sound like.
Well, I gave you the example for years. We have been giving money, $3,000 a year to the Crystal Lake Watershed Association for their boat wash. And
But see, that's for a boat wash, so you're getting something in return.
I see.
And I guess what we're getting in return is clean water, right? But we're supposed to have a contract.
Well, and we'll pursue that. We're gonna, if that's what's needed, and I'll call the auditor and all that sort of stuff, then we'll get one. But
Ask.
I'm gonna ask. Maybe I'm not gonna ask.
There is, the township has an MOU cover that, so that there's no need for a contract.
Okay. MOU with who?
Yeah.
Conservation district.
Okay.
We can
So
follow up on it.
we were told that actually you had already agreed to it. And 3
Well-
other townships, but we found that's not true.
Both Lake and Benzonia in 2019 wrote letters of support for the grant and said that they would consider making a donation as well. And it's not.
We did too.
It's not all the same board
In 20,
members,
yeah.
and I'm also worried about Benzonia.
All right. Thank you. I forgot to introduce you officially. This is Mary Pitcher. She's the supervisor at Lake Township. So thank you very much. Back to this next proposal. We have a pretty strong and very young, comparatively speaking, environment committee. And it's headed up by Abby Ellsworth. We have an Elizabeth Smith. We've got Saskia Van Wolfren, who's married to Joel Bazell. There was your daughter. A lot of really go-getting alpha females that maybe would take over the township for us someday, I'm hoping. And they, as a committee for the environment, brought this to us. And they say that for the first example, and that's the first bullet, the Dollar General started to construct something in the recent past in honor, and then said, oh, we're on wetland. And so this is a proposal to say if we all cooperated and on the county website, when you looked up properties, this information would include, it's a layer of the geographic information system that would say, oh yeah, this property, if you're thinking of building on it or purchasing or whatever, you should be aware of these natural elements, is what they're calling them. And they're hoping to avoid problems in the future. They're not asking for money. This resolution is just a letter of support asking the county, because it's in its budget process right now, to consider paying for this. So this is just,
Zoning on there too, the zoning on the GIS
yeah,
parcels.
yeah. It would just, it would put another layer of information when we look it up as a John Q. Public member, and it's helping to be transparent and to ward off bad outcomes that we don't want, that it would damage our environment. So this is just asking to immediately write a letter of support in time for the budgeting process. That's why it has to be very quick. The next open, I think, review of the budget for the county is next Tuesday or something like that. And we just telling them that we would support adding the zoning districts and the valuable natural element features to a public search on the software. Do I move? Do I have support?
Do you want me to read the revised therefore?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's my proofreader. It's always. Go for it.
Therefore, the Crystal Lake Township Board directs Supervisor Ferris and Clerk Van Meter to compose a letter to the Benzie County Board of Commissioners in support of the expansion of the Benzie County Geographic Information System software to also include zoning classifications, valuable natural element features, etc. This letter of support will be sent immediately so it may be considered during the Board of Commissioners' current budgeting process.
That's what I move.
I second.
Who is this going to?
The Board of Commissioners. And it will copy Katie's sites.
My discussion would be the DNR was ride or die with GIS. It was everywhere. And it is, I didn't understand half of what I'm looking at, but it was amazing what it shows.
Well, and Sandra and I talked to Tom Kucera this morning, and he seems in support of this. Having as many options for information as we can get.
Yeah.
It's very helpful with slopes and the watershed overlay.
Yeah, we want as many people, not just in the whole county, but we want this, yeah, the overlay to really be aware, be made aware, be made public so that our public is aware. Any other comment, question? Vote, please.
Marble,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Van Meter, yes. Ferris?
Yes. And Elizabeth Smith and Saskia Van Wolfram are wanting to help with this letter. So the four of us will do that in our copious free time. All right, next thing is roads. Judy, you're our road woman.
You know more about the funding. You're the one who called Tri-Finance. Could you speak to that?
Yeah, I didn't make up the grid, but I will in the future. The 3 different places we get money for our roads. The 2 most visible is we vote for millage, both at the county level and at the township level. But we also get state money. And so this is including some money that we're getting. I'll tell you what we've got. This is the situation. We just, in the winter, agreed to an estimate and we listed all the roads we wanted done in our township. And oops, it comes to this summer and we forgot Molino Road, which is a major expense and it's a whole mile. So that's why we're having to suddenly say, oops, where are we gonna get the money? Because it's probably gonna be more money than we have in Jill's report. So where are we gonna come up with this? We're gonna direct the clerk and the treasurer to use all but $500 from that road fund that we've collected from our township millage. And then we're going to authorize the clerk and the treasurer to use the 12.8 from the Michigan Transportation Grant monies held in escrow by our commission. And that will help go towards Molyneux, and that what is still owed will not be due, so says the road commission, out of the goodness of their hearts, until the end of the year. That gives us a month to start collecting more taxes into our road fund, and we feel like it's gonna be taken care of.
Well, and I think we're gonna be closer than this.
Yeah, we don't have a really good estimate. It could be as low as 20, could be high as 40,000 for Molyneux.
Okay, but I'm saying I think we're gonna be closer with that
Yeah.
figure as long as it can sit in there and cook.
So,
Okay,
so that is what I move. Any second,
I'll second.
okay?
chip and seal.
Chip and seal.
I have one thing to say. I can't believe it after all of the re-editing of this crazy resolution, there's still a mistake in it.
Oh, Lord.
My proofreader, what's wrong with her? What is it?
You need to cross out in the last sentence
On the on, from the on?
to pay any remaining balance, cross out from the.
On or before it, yeah.
Yep.
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay,
With that correction, I so move, you're gonna second with that amendment, and any other discussion? Vote please.
Van Meter, yes. Marble,
yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Ferris,
Yes. And then we have anything about roads? Then we have short-term rentals. You gonna take this, baby?
I will take this. We are getting closer on our short-term rental ordinance. To recap, we sent letters to all property owners informing them that we have an ordinance in place. We were only doing information gathering this summer because most people had their places rented. We are going live on September 15th. People can start applying. Elaine Walton is the short-term rental administrator. And right now she's working on a license and finalizing documents and working with Sandra on some things. But we thought possibly that Matt Stefanski, our enforcement code guy, could work with the chief and do the fire inspections.
Okay.
The chief feels very strongly, especially after he got a call at an old cottage and the fire detector and carbon monoxides were 2009 and there were sick kids. And so he feels very personal about this and he wants to do them. So he will be doing them on his own time. But what we are compensating him, he is going to put in the Frankfurt Volunteer Club Fund. So he will not take the money personally, but we will be paying Chief Cedarholm to perform the inspections, but the money will actually go to the Frankfurt Volunteer Club Fund. $100 per inspection, if they don't, whether they pass or not. If Mike has to go back and follow up, it's $50 for that visit. We had a discussion in the office that what if he's got to go back 3 or 4 times, then the people should start paying. So we're going to look at rewording the ordinance a little bit and start putting the onus after the second visit back on the property owner. So therefore, Crystal Lake Township Board hereby approves compensation for these documented fire inspections. Chief Cedarholm will perform the inspections. The Frankfurt Volunteer Club Fund will be paid $100 per inspection, whether the property passes or not. Return trips to the same property for needed follow-up will be compensated at $50 per visit. I so move.
I second. Any discussion?
Yeah, there's a mistake in it.
Which, where is it?
The second whereas, it says property must pass instead of passed.
Oh, I thought we fixed that already.
Yeah, we did too.
Okay. I even caught that. Okay. All right, anyway, we're gonna work on the ordinance and we're only paying for two of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't have even paid for two of them. I'd say that's part of their job as renters, landlords, whatever.
Well, they're paying $500 in a license fee. And so far that is going to more than cover Elaine's cost.
Okay, that's a
And
good point then.
I think we are way, not that we wanna make a lot of money, but we're gonna be okay.
Okay,
We aren't, we'll revisit it.
any other questions, comments? Vote?
Marvel,
Yes.
Van Meter, yes, Ferris,
Yes.
right?
Yes, thank you. All right, now we're at old business, of which I don't think there is any. Any new business? Public comment. Joanne,
Thank you so much for putting lights in your parking lot. I remember one time when I came here, I had to use my light on my phone in order
Find your
to
car?
find my car.
Okay,
Literally find my car.
you are absolutely why we're doing this.
Yeah.
any other public comment at this time?
Just have a question.
Sure, Rich?
10 grand for the stormwater law. What's it actually gonna go to? What's the money gonna go to?
That's a good question. I actually don't know.
Well, I mean, we're spending $10,000, so, and everybody's in favor of clean water. I mean, you could spend it in our own township on making sure that our runoff and stuff is, contaminant free, but.
Well, the reading that I did on it was $186,000 project. Right now, the baffles and everything on this village coming out are so out of date, so rotted. That it's not really handling it well in the Beulah
Put
end.
out a view.
Yes,
That's
And-
beautiful.
but it's our lake too.
Yeah,
So I feel that we're helping them with $186,000 to upgrade and they're spending 12 million on their sewers and. That
yeah,
helps.
I knew
Yeah.
that state made changes in
Yeah.
requirements there.
But that's an excellent point. Judy and I just today even brought that up. We haven't asked what exactly
Yeah.
in the nuts and bolts of this remediation process is. It could be, and I'm just speculating, it could be any number of things. It could be a conglomeration of techniques that they're needing.
And I would be happy to pull more documents that really outline that project and I'll bring it to the next meeting.
Kind of
Right.
what they're spending on. The other one would be the GIS information, is that gonna be publicly available once it's,
Oh, yeah,
That's absolutely, that's my understanding.
that's what we want.
sounds good.
It does say in this one letter from John Ransom. The best management practices with this include stormwater chambers along Crystal Avenue and the main village park. Infiltration baskets at various stormwater sewer intake locations. And a rain garden to be located at the Second Street Road end at Crystal Lake.
Yeah, we talked about that. There was probably more reservoirs to catch the water before it runs off.
To the lakes.
Do we have them in our township? What are those?
There's a runoff at Beulah Street.
Oh, that's right. Did the city
Yeah.
build that?
Yes.
It was a rain garden,
It
yeah.
was a rain garden and we had to go in and pull out a lot of the grass that was growing in the beach area. And we figured it was from fertilizer and stuff running off of the properties there. So,
I think you've really noticed a difference coming down, out to the park. It used to just swoosh down there
right,
and move all that sand and that rain gardens, unless it is a high rain event.
yeah.
But a regular runoff, the rain garden's catching it.
And I know that we've had French drains and helped contribute, like we did our contribution and the road commission did some
Okay.
along,
Runoff drains are important in our township too, and they need to be serviced on a pretty regular basis.
yeah, right now, for example, there's I don't know how many, I've already forgotten how many tributaries, creeks that supply.
There's a lot.
And, if you're a private homeowner and I've got somebody in mind, it's a huge property and they've got 3 creeks coming through and they fertilize their grass and all that sort of stuff. And it's all voluntary at this point.
Yeah.
So, So, yes,
I'd just like to applaud you for passing the GIS resolution. Putting on my zoning hat, that'll be really helpful for zoning administrators, just saving time, because your township website could then link to the GIS map, and it would be layered with the parcel map, the slope map, whatever map, there's so many different.
topography,
And then, depending on how sophisticated they get, you could actually click on your parcel number. It would not only show you the zoning district, but it would have a link to what's allowed in that district.
thank you for saying that,
Would be watershed on that map too?
That's what,
our overlay.
Yeah.
So, okay, and Lindy, you have something you're posting? Some informational thing?
Thank you, yes. Tuesday, October 7th, at the Benzie Shore District Library, State Savings Bank has coordinated with the library to hold the presentation on mortgage lending, but we've also expanded it to include information on property fraud. So I'm bringing in Paul Eberhardt from the registrar's office and Becky Plannon from Searchlight Title. So we'll have a little collaborative there, and it starts at 10:30 in the morning and ends at noon. So
Get a little plug in for that.
thank you.
Any other public comment at this time? Ooh, am I the closest?
Gotta be more comment.
Oh, board comment, sorry. Any board comment?
How close am I? I don't know, maybe I need to stop.
We've been taking bets at how when we adjourn. All right, here we go, guys. Thank you so